Yo, because of the memes, I had to make this video. Look, it says everything you need to know about military draft. So, if you don't know how this like occurred, there was the old what's it called, World War, yeah, World War III thing. So everybody in mostly the black Twitter, by the way, like I know the black Twitter was just doing it a lot. So the whole military thing, black Twitter was basically talking about drafting, that people are gonna get drafted because of the World War. I mean, honestly, it was funny, but I knew that it couldn't be true. Like, you're not gonna force people to go into. There's no politician, there's nobody that's gonna force someone going into the military. It's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna force people. And again, they looked at like a certain percentage of people that can actually go into the military, and it's so little. It's so little of the country, because they discovered that the country, right, for you to go into the military, you have to be like healthy. You have to be like, you don't have to have like problems. So, for example, if you have glasses, you can't go into the military, like, because like you're not, like, your sightedness is not like, it's not 2020 like like the people in the military. So like, just that as just that as an example, that's crazy, bro. What other example? If you've broken your leg before, you can't go into the military. And like, they said that, like, they said like about 70% of the country can't even be in the military, because it's either they've, like, what's it called, either they are obese, like, either they are obese, they have diabetes, they have criminal. Yeah, you can't also go into the military if you have like a criminal, like, if you have like a criminal case. Like, you have to be like a perfect person to go into the military, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't know, I just had to not respond, actually, I just had to watch this. And again, I also think, like, of course, to be in the military, you have to be fit. To be in the military, you have to not have any criminal charges. And and there's so many more, like, and just like more than more than half of Americans don't have like the requirements. That's crazy. More than half of Americans don't have the requirements, and they'll probably be lazy too. Just to, even if you're not, even if you don't have all those stuff and they draft you, like, I think you just be lazy. But yeah.
Is the military draft coming back? According to one expert,
is the military draft imminent? I would say no.
We are hours away from President Trump's response to Iran's missile attack on 2 military bases last night.
The question is on many people's...
Damn, I can't believe I'm responding. Like, I just feel like it's so... I just wanted to talk about... I didn't want to talk about politics because it's so personal to people. I just wanted to watch, I just wanted to watch the fun side. I didn't like seeing all this Iran and the US. Like, it just, like, that's like, people are on the US side, people on the Iranian side. It just, I don't want to even think about it, because, man, I'm over here in Canada and I shouldn't even be talking about it. Honestly, it shouldn't be my place,
minds as tensions between Iran and the United States run high.
We're prepared to attack if we have to.
Deborah Wada is a former Assistant Secretary of the Army who now serves on a National Commission on Military and Public Service.
Is there a reason why they're using that music?
We don't have a draft.
Yeah, because the draft was disbanded like in 1950 or 50 something or 30, 60 something. I don't know. A long time ago, that's for sure. But yeah, like, it's crazy. And there's still countries that do have draft. I actually looked it up on, like, obviously Wikipedia, which should not be a good source, but I actually wanted to see countries that did use draft, and like, it's crazy. I think Russia uses draft. Like, oh yeah, South Korea uses draft. South Korea is crazy. Like, imagine being like, this was a big thing though. Imagine being like a K-pop star, and you're making so much money, you're making so much music, then you hit like a certain age, because for you to be drafted, you have to get to like a certain age. Then you now get to like that certain age, then you now have to start like, oh yeah, it's time. They're not like, oh yeah, it's time for you to, like, you're being drafted, it's time. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's so crazy.
We haven't had a draft since the Vietnam War, so since the 70s. So you need to actually have a law passed that would actually start the
Make that
draft.
happen.
She understands why people are so concerned about a possible draft.
I think most Americans that do
Draft the
remember the
draft
draft
card.
remember the
Yeah.
draft in the 70s and with all the connotations that come with it.
During the Vietnam era, the military draft was a fraught, highly contentious one.
So they drafted people for an illegal war. This country literally scares me. You drafted people for a war that should not have happened. Like people were gonna like burn or something. People, like what? This country, man.
Here's how it worked.
December 6th.
They had a lottery system based on year of birth.
They're gonna call me.
There was this amazing quote that people still use today. It's called old men do something and young men die or something. They said during war, old men are actually the ones that like tell young men to go die or something. Like it was just like a beautiful quote. It just means that old men are the ones giving out the instructions on what to do. Like you see all these Trump guys and Pompeo guys giving out all the instruction on what to do, and young men, which are the guys in the military. I mean, the military guys will be like 30 something or even 20 something or even fucking 18. I think he goes back to 18. And they could literally just go in there and it's like it's a weird place, man. Young guys now go there and die.
My number. I just know they're gonna call my number.
Hey, you were born lucky, remember?
Are they supposed to do this? Like, if I get copyright infringement, I won't be able to post this. This isn't fun.
Your birthday's gonna be the 365th one called tonight, and you're not gonna get drafted.
You're not gonna get drafted.
And you would then get a number assigned.
No one is gonna do this because this is gonna be political suicide. Just saying. Like, no Republican or Democrat is gonna like this. No one. So, like, if like Senator X or Congressman X, Y, Congresswoman X, Y, or whoever is going to be like, oh yeah, I voted for this. You're gone. No one wants to do that. You're basically forcing the country to do something they don't want. And it's not even going to work out. It really isn't.
December 6th is 0.
Basically, you're going to put people that are not even qualified. That's the thing.
010.
And if your birth date was that number that was called up in a lottery, you would then be called to a draft and you'd be sent to a local draft.
You gotta catch me first. If I was there, you gotta catch me first, man. You gotta catch me first. You ain't seeing me nowhere.
And they would then have the decision of whether you were physically and mentally fit and also morally fit to serve.
It wouldn't quite work the same way today.
Yeah.
The requirements actually to be in the military is significantly higher today than it was, I think, during the Vietnam War. The process by which I think it would also depend on sort of what skill set they need, sort of what kind of individual that they are looking for that would be able to serve in the military, because obviously our weapon systems are much more complex.
In the military selective service, Americans from all walks of life will learn to live side by side.
Wada says many people confuse the draft with registering for the selective service.
A lot of people have misinformation, or we conflate both registration and the draft as one. And they are sort of two distinct processes. One is that you are required as an 18 to 25-year-old male to register for a potential draft.
That's selective service.
And the second is more of a sort of once the legislation and law is passed, then the draft process begins.
If you're worried about the draft being reinstated in the U.S., here's what to look for.
First thing that you would see, and that should...
Oh my god, I just remembered all the memes that were happening about people trying to like get away from the draft. They would like they'll break their leg and all that stuff, like just for that entry the draft. I'm gonna have to do this. So they like do like crazy stuff, or like, oh, I remember there was this dark joke. It was pretty dark. They were like, Oh yeah, someone that became transsexual because like Trump and his guys are trying to make sure that trans people don't serve in the military, which is like what? Like I thought you guys were all about wanting people to serve in the military as much as they can, and now you all of a sudden it's such a weird thing to see though. A militarized country is basically saying we don't want a certain type of people in the because they are they are transsexuals. Like it's so weird.
Make people be concerned if there would be a draft is if Congress actually passed legislation to enable a draft. Pay attention to what's going on, right? If you see dialogue happening about whether there are enough troops that are being...
They say that there's like 1% of people in the American military. I mean, is that bad? I don't know. I think that's not even the point. I think the thing that is bad is that they should just come home, bro. Almost everybody's in support of that. Both parties are in support of that, which is strange. Both parties are in support of that. Like I'm talking about like regular people, not like the politicians or the senators, but regular people are basically in support of that. Like conservatives, liberals, and any other like personnel, like in support of them coming home. Like no, like that. So you're telling me that? Imagine if they do the drafting, that would be so weird. It's like, wait, we're trying to bring it to be like, you guys are arguing to bring people back home, and somehow you did this to make people to make the military much more like. It doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to bring people back home, but now you're adding more people to the military. Like, who's gonna be like? Who's gonna be like? Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Being set, right? Because we have a volunteer force where we will see the activation of the services, in particularly the Army, maybe the Marine Corps. You'll see the activation of the reserve components and the National Guard, as we did after 9/11.
Look at those weaponry, man. What a country.
If we get to a draft, it is sort of a break glass. We need to, take out that fire extinguisher because we are being overwhelmed. I would like to think if we are actually unable to respond and our country is being attacked, right, by missiles, and if we need it.
Damn, she's making it sound so scary. Like, bro, your country is not gonna be attacked by missiles, bro. Your country is not gonna be attacked by missiles, though. Like, it's just not. Oh my god, no. I made a mistake, yo. I mean, I guess till next time, and the video is even longer.